Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's 5 o'clock on the dot, so we already know what that means. It is time for Speak Your Soul. I am your host, Shantae. Pleased to be back with you guys on another Wednesday at 5 o'clock. It's been a wild week. Trust me, yesterday was a wild one. Somebody rear-ended me in the back of my car, wasn't paying attention and just back right on into me. But I'm here. I'm blessed. I'm dripping black girl magic today, as you can see. So once again, as I always do, want to thank everyone for tuning in to Speak Your Soul every week at Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Appreciate you guys so much. Appreciate those that contribute every week to the poll. Thank everyone for last week's episode. It was so good. Everyone chiming in and having that conversation definitely means a lot to me with Speak Your Soul. Thank you for following IG, my Facebook, and just everything. So thank all of you loyal people that tune in to check it out every week. I appreciate you guys more than you ever know on YouTube and everything. So appreciate you guys for checking out Speak Your Soul every week. This, for those of you that are new to Speak Your Soul and are just coming to check out today's episode, Speak Your Soul is my podcast where I get an opportunity to talk shop about just all the topics that I love the most. Could be music, could be photography. Hey, how you doing? Could be art, could be what's happening in the world, could be what's happening on TV. But 9 times out of 10, for me, I get a lot of people that love to have conversations about relationships, adult relationships. So pretty much the majority of Speak Your Soul are topics related to self-love, self-care, relationships, and all that good stuff. So I pretty much, I love where these conversations head. They're real adult conversations being had, people being vulnerable, sharing their ideas, sharing what they believe, sharing just a little bit of everything that they believe in. So it's been a lot going on in the world. We're still dealing with what we're dealing with. We're still dealing with COVID. We're still dealing with a lot of just heartache, a lot of pain, a lot of unresolved issues that are happening amongst ourselves that we're afraid to kind of bring to the forefront. There's a lot of things that we're not saying as an African-American community. There's a lot that we're keeping bottled in, and it's starting to explode everywhere. Now you're starting to see people get to a breaking point where they can't deal with it. They can't deal with the day-to-day. They can't deal with the new norm. That's what they're calling it, the new normalcy. It's a lot to take in, and it's a lot of frustration. It's a lot of people that are really, really struggling to get through this day to day. And so I'm appreciative of having something like Speak Your Soul so I can come and talk to you guys and, vent and get a lot of this out. A lot of the things that I have to say, a lot of the things that I've been holding on to, a lot of the things that I've been frustrated with. I use this particular platform to kind of have those adult conversations and kind of speak, hey, Frey, how you doing? And kind of get a chance to speak to you guys and kind of get a lot of that stuff and air a lot of that stuff out. And you guys get an opportunity to kind of speak your soul and kind of tell, your story in a way of what's happening with you, what's going on with you internally. So it's all therapy to me. I appreciate it probably more than anybody will ever know to have this platform and to be able to speak and to talk and to do a multitude of things and to help other people kind of get their frustrations and their issues and their problems and all the things that they're holding on to, get it out. Because at this time, it's tough. It's tough. We're dealing with a lot of people that are, frustrated, can't really deal with, what's going on. And so it's easy to tune into something, to hear someone talk, to hear someone speak, and to kind of be able to talk about it and speak about what's going on. With that being said, I want to dive into episode 19 of Speak Your Soul. I can't believe that we are at episode 19 of Speak Your Soul. This is absolutely ridiculous to me. Something that started off small, something that I wanted to do, something that I've always wanted to do has now manifested into this. And now we're up to episode 19. And this one I affectionately dub Apologize for What? So a lot of times we find ourselves, going through our day-to-day lives, apologizing when we really don't want to, or we really don't see the need, or we really feel like we're not wrong in that particular instance. So a lot of times we take one for the team and we kind of apologize for something that we just really don't want to. But there are some things that within ourselves, we know that why should we apologize? So for me, I'll start with myself. I put the topic out there of this week's Speak Your Soul. Yeah, damn, 19 episodes. Yes, Frey, we're at 19. So I put a poll out there that simply said, and let me get it up here so I don't misquote it. What things should you never apologize for? So that was the post that I put out for everyone to chime in this week. And I got so many responses, as I do every week. So once again, I appreciate everyone chiming in and responding to the polls that I put out there. But this one is one that kind of really hit home for a lot of people because there were so many different, diverse, and varied responses to this. So what things should you never apologize for? Well, every week, for those that know me, that follow me on IG, that follow me on Facebook, knows that 9 times out of 10, I'm always going to speak about self-love, self-care. I'm always going to say, put yourself first. Make sure that you're taking care of self, okay? That's the number one thing. And so for me, one of the hardest things, and something I draw a line in the sand that I will never apologize for, is for loving myself unapologetically. Everything, flaws and all, from my hair to my fingernails to my body type or whatever. I know I'm never going to be this skinny size 4, 5, 6 whatever, but I had to get to a point where I was comfortable with me and love myself exactly the way I am. And that's something that I absolutely, positively will never apologize for. And a lot of people need to stop and say to themselves, I will never apologize for loving myself the way I am. It's huge. Because right now we're dealing with a lot of people that are insecure. They're apologizing for the way they look. They're apologizing for what they weigh. They're apologizing for what they eat. All these different things when they don't understand that they're beautiful the way they are. Now, I have no problem with people that want to get healthy and lose weight and take care of themselves. That's all a part of loving yourself. But you never should apologize ever for being who you are and loving yourself. And so many people condemn themselves, are so insecure, they're crying out for attention. They're crying out for someone else to love and pay attention to them, when the first person it starts with is them. So for everyone that tunes in to Speak Your Soul, for everyone that looks at my IG and my Facebook, they know self-love is the most important thing for me. I preach it every week because it's the gospel to me. You can't ask anybody else to love you if you don't love you. So that's where we're at with that. So starting off with myself, one thing I will never apologize for is loving myself completely and unconditionally. That's it, flaws and all. So with that being said, I want to get into some of the comments, of course, as I do every week, on what people had to say on this particular topic. Like I said, the topics ranged, the responses ranged, they varied. There's so many things that fall into this category of something that you should never apologize for. So starting off right at the gate, Frey had to go ahead and start you off first. Being who you are. Period. That one was a big one for a lot of people. Being who you are is supremely important, and understanding who you are. And once you understand who you are, there is nothing to apologize for. A lot of people want you to really, pretend to be someone else, to fall in line with other people's expectations. Other people's expectations will get you completely messed up. You have to follow your own road. You have to take care of you and appreciate the person that you are. So once you start to appreciate the person that you are, you can't apologize for it. And there are a lot of people that take you with a grain of salt. They may not like what you say. They may not like the things that you do. But, if you are unapologetically you and you're holding on to your own convictions, you can't apologize for that. And there are a lot of people, like I said, that won't get it. They don't understand who you are, what you do, what your purpose is. It's not for them to understand. As long as you like it and you accept it, there's nothing that anybody else can do or say to you or for you. And so I think the biggest thing that you, along with loving yourself, is to never apologize for being you. Whatever that is, whoever that is. We have so many different people that want you to fall in line with the box, and they don't understand. Sometimes you don't fit in a box. Sometimes you can't be boxed in. Sometimes it's not about per se, who you are or, what people want to define you as. You have to be understanding enough to understand who you are, and that if you're strong in your own convictions on who you are, what you want to do, who you want to be, you don't apologize for that. So shout out to Frey and for all of those that responded that being you, who you are, is something that you would never apologize for. And I totally get that. Wanting the most out of life, both marriage and money wise. That's a big one. A lot of people, want a lot, are ambitious, and they want to do a lot with their lives. They want to, achieve their goals. It's sometimes at a very high price. So it's amazing that how much people have the drive and the ambition to go after their goals, whether that be individually by themselves, or when they get married, those goals transfer over to your partner and they become your goals as a couple. But having the strength to, above it all, where there are naysayers and people that are, against you, and you have so many people in your wake that don't want to see you succeed, to say, you know what? I'm not going to apologize for being ambitious. I'm not going to apologize for having dreams and goals and wanting to aspire to get to them. I mean, that's something that we all wish and aspire that we have within us. And some people don't have it. Some people just flat out, they're just not that goal oriented, or they're not that ambitious about setting goals and adhering to them and making sure that they achieve those goals. But I applaud anybody that says, you know what, I paid the price. I'm putting in the work. I'm doing everything that I need to do to make sure that I get to where I need to be. And for some people, that could be career-wise. That could be being an entrepreneur. All these Black-owned businesses, God bless you, because it started with something small, as simple as a dream, and having enough drive and ambition to say, I want to take this a step further. And in that particular instance, once you start thriving and succeeding, no, there's nothing to apologize for. You've done the work. You've laid the groundwork. You've done everything you're supposed to do. And now it's time to reap the benefits of the work that you've put in. So no, there's nothing to apologize for having a goal, for having dreams, for having ambitions, and having the fortitude to go out there and to get it done. And if, a marriage is something that is a part of your dreams or goals, and you set out to achieve, and you're married, Once again, God bless you, but definitely there's absolutely nothing to apologize for in that regard. So kudos to Derek for that one. Loving what you do. So I have to agree with this one. Thank you, Mario, for this one. I'm not going to apologize for what I do. I'm someone that has been a part of this corporate America system. I've been a part of and worked a job. We all have worked a job since we were 16, 17, years old, starting off real young. And I've always been corporate, a part of corporate America, always had, some type of job where I had to report to someone else. It feels wonderful not having to wake up and having to deal with some boss's demand. When you are your own boss. So in that particular instance, it's a beautiful thing to love doing what you do. Every Wednesday at 5 o'clock or at 2 o'clock, I start getting the butterflies in my stomach as I start to get prepared for the day to do an episode of Speak Your Soul. But let me explain something to you. It's something that I've always loved to do. It's something that I love doing. And so that propels me every week after week, to continue to keep coming on here. I may have one person watching. I may have, 50 people watching. It doesn't matter. I love being able to come on here, have a conversation, talk to you guys, to share some of the things I love, to be able to talk with you guys. And that's all it is. But I love what I do. And it's the fact that I love what I do that continues to keep driving me to want to continue to get better, to want to excel, to want to exceed, to keep entertaining, to keep coming up with content. Still working on the poetry book. So there's so many things that I want to give to you guys. And that's what propels me every week to do this, because I absolutely love what I do. And you guys have hit me in my inboxes and stuff like that saying it was an awesome topic. It was an awesome show. So that every week just keeps propelling me every time to keep coming on here every week, to keep hitting you guys with another topic on Speak Your Soul. So I totally agree. Something that you can never apologize for is loving what you do. Being you, being successful is another one. If you're successful in what you're doing, whatever it is, you don't apologize for it. So the title of this particular episode is Apologize for What? What are you apologizing for? Are you apologizing for yourself? Are you apologizing for what other people think about you, or other people's expectations of you, or other people's, closed off mentality of you? Like who are you listening to? Because there are going to be people out there, hey dear me, there are going to be people out there that are going to have their own expectations and preconceived notions of who you should be. And like I said, if you're strong in your own convictions and you know who you are as a person, there's no way that you should apologize for being 100% you. There's nothing on this list, and trust me, there's a lot here. There's nothing on here that you should apologize for. It's all related. Telling the truth. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I am a Sagittarius to the end of me. And the one thing that Sagittarius do, for all my Sagittarius that are out there, is we don't apologize. We don't apologize, for being honest. Let me clear that up. We don't apologize for being honest. We are honest sometimes to a fault. If there's something that we see, if there's a friend out there that's doing something, hey, we're going to be like, let me talk to you. If we see something that's wrong, or even if it's us that's doing wrong, we appreciate people being honest and coming up to us, hey, man, I don't think you should do that, or I don't think you should have said that. I openly invite people after the show, talk to me. If there's something that you think that I said on the show that's not right, by all means, I invite everyone to jump, on Facebook or jump on IG and tell me how you feel. But the one thing I can't be is sit up here and lie to you guys and make it seem that, oh, yeah, I'm doing this and this. I can't do it. I'm going to be 100% honest. Sometimes it stings. Sometimes it hurts, but honesty to me is the most important thing. If I can't be honest with you in a relationship, in a friendship, it's not gonna go good. As a matter of fact, that relationship is doomed before it began. Because if I can't be honest with you out of fear that I'm gonna hurt your feelings, yeah, it's over before it began. Because I have to be complete honest. I want honesty from you. And when you don't have it, it's just, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing altogether. So I can't apologize. Apologize for what? That's the name of this episode of Speak Your Soul. But apologize for being honest. You can't, nor should you. Because it hurt your feelings. Because you feel some kind of way. I can't do it. So that's another big one. Being honest, telling the truth, being me, standing up for yourself. Now that's a big one. So right now in this day and time, standing up for ourselves, standing up for what we believe in, standing up for our rights, standing up for the color of our skin, standing up for your sexuality, just standing up for what you truly believe in is nothing, absolutely, positively nothing to apologize for. There are so many things that are happening to people, not just African American people, but to everyone. And so at this point, you see all these different groups, all these organization groups of people coming together, because at this point, they're having to speak out on their own plight, on their own, on their lives, basically, on their livelihood. So no, once again, something you don't apologize for. You don't apologize for what you believe in, for standing up for yourself, for being strong enough in your own convictions, whatever they may be, and saying, this is what I believe. This is what I'm fighting for. And when people see that you're not afraid and that you're not going to back down to how they treat you or what they say to you, then you get your respect. Then people start to understand. But absolutely standing up for yourself, standing up for what you believe in, those two go hand in hand. Standing up for who you are and what you believe in is absolutely, positively something that you should never, ever apologize for. So kudos. Now, this one's a big one. And shout out to my frat brother. I don't know if he's watching, but Mr. Robin E. Reese said, believing in God. This is a big one. So there's always a big debate, and you'll always find on social media every day those people that believe, those people that don't believe, right? In God. So when it comes to God, when it comes to religion, it's always a slippery slope, because you have so many people that believe in what they want to believe. But the one thing I will give to anyone out there is that if you believe in God, it is your right to your own beliefs, is your right to your own religion. People have fought for this for years and years and years. So everyone has a right to believe in what they want to believe. If you believe in God, you have a right to. And you should never, ever apologize to anyone for your beliefs. If somebody believes in something else, God bless you. If you believe in something, that's your belief. That's your religion. I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to get into a debate with you. I'm not going to argue with you if that's something that you truly believe in. But you can't apologize, and you should never apologize for those people that believe in God. Yeah, you may believe in something else, more power to you. But for those of us that believe in God, you should never apologize for it, be scrutinized for it, be persecuted for it, or anything. And so it takes a really strong person to have once again, the power of their own convictions to say, this is my religion. This is what I believe in. You can do whatever you want to on your end, but this is what I believe, and I'm holding strong to what I believe in. So thanks to my frat brother for that one, because that's a huge one. A lot of people are afraid to even mention or bring up belief in God because they don't want to get into an argument. They don't want to get into a debate with other people, because you never know on social media who's looking, who's watching, so many different ideologies, breaking it all down. Not to say who's right or who's wrong, but if you're strong and you believe in what you believe in, if you believe in God, you should never apologize for that. So I thought that was a pretty interesting one. Thanks to my frat brother, Mr. Robin Reese, for putting that one in there. There was a lot of standing up for yourself. A lot of people put telling the truth. Being yourself is probably one of the most important things that you should never apologize for. You always want to absolutely, positively be yourself. Your past. Hey, now we getting onto a topic. So everyone out there, everyone that's listening to the sound of my voice, has had things happen in their past that they're not proud of. Okay? Everyone has fallen short, made some bad decisions, have done some things that you're not proud of, done some things that you're ashamed of. But in no shape, form, or fashion should you ever feel, hurt or feel ashamed of your past. Your past is what shaped you. Your past is what made you the person that you are today. Now, you don't want to dwell on the past. You always want to keep looking towards the future. But one thing you absolutely can never apologize for is for the things that happened in your past. Yeah, so somebody finds out that you weren't the perfect person. Somebody finds out that you weren't the always little Miss Sunshine. Somebody may find out that you've, struggled financially in the past. That's absolutely fine. But the one thing you can't do is apologize for the things that happened in your past. Those relationships that didn't go the way that you wanted to. Those relationships that ripped your heart apart in two and you didn't know how you were going to make it. Broken marriages. All of those things from your past, they happened. It's how did you pick yourself up? Did you brush yourself off? And did you keep going? But it helped shape the person that you are. You wouldn't be the person that you are today if you didn't go through these things. If you didn't experience turmoil or heartache or pain. So never apologize for the things of your past. They helped make the person that you are. They helped shape who you are. So you should never apologize for that. And I feel like a lot of times we end up having to apologize to someone new enters your life. And as you're telling your story about the past, they're like, well, why are you bringing that up? Well, it's my past. It happened. I have to deal with the past in order to get to the future. It happened. I'm not going to apologize for it. It happened. So I think a lot of times we find ourselves apologizing so much that we really just think that that's something that we owe somebody. You don't owe anybody a damn thing when it comes to you. Speak your piece, say what you got to say, and move on with it. But when people act like they don't understand or, oh man, that's the past, why are you bringing that up? Well, sometimes you got to deal with it. Sometimes you have to revisit it. So don't let anybody sit up there and make you feel bad for the things that you've done in your past. There's nothing to apologize for unless you did something so horrendous and so horrible that it's a crime, and even then still, if you've dealt with it and you've moved on, you've moved on. There's no need to sit up here and, try to apologize to someone for things that happened in your past. That never made sense to me. But anyway, for cutting people out of your life that's not good for you. Woo woo. Can I get an amen? Can I get a witness? So that's a big one. Never apologize for cutting people out of your life. That one doesn't even really need any extra explanation in that particular instance. Sometimes there are so many tumultuous relationships, so many hurtful relationships, painful relationships that we're dealing with. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a friendship. It could be a relationship. It could be a friendship. If that person is no good for you, and you know that, and they're not here to be there for you, and they're not a part of your future and where you're going, then it makes no sense. Sometimes you have to let those people go. And so you have to be strong enough to say, you know what, this isn't working. So I'm glad she said that. Cutting people out of your life that's no good for you. You can't hang on to people that can't see the future, that you don't see in your future. And sometimes it's best to just let those people go on their own way. But you can't apologize for saying, you know what, this isn't working. You're not going where I'm trying to get to. And sometimes along that road, you do have to cut people out. Otherwise, you're going to be held down in that same area time and time again. So you have to let people go in order to get to where you need to be. So you can't hold on to everybody. Everyone that you start off with is not going to be there in the end. They can't. Hey, Sarah, what's up? So you have to have the wherewithal and the mind, your own mind, to understand that everyone that you started with in this journey, you're not going to end up with. Some people are going to be there with you. Some people are going to be rocking with you. And then some people you're just going to lose along the way. But you can't apologize for having to get those people that are no good for you and cutting those people out of your life. No reason to ever apologize for something like that. Cheating. Wow. That's a huge one. So never apologize for cheating. So there was a lot of people that had some comments about this particular one. So should you or should you never apologize or have to apologize for cheating? So that one, like I said, that one was pretty risque. But if you're strong in your own convictions and that's something that you truly believe that was warranted at the time, I'm going to leave that one up to you. But I've been on the receiving end of that cheater. So on that particular instance, I'm going to leave that at that. So not everyone is going to agree with that. So Frey said, of course you should. Exactly. Because for those people on the other end of that cheating, we don't understand. We don't get it. We don't understand your mentality. We don't understand why you did it. So, and there's no reason for you to. If that's the case and you feel like you're going to cheat, just leave. Just get out the relationship before you take that step, before you decide that you're going to go ahead and cheat on someone. There's always other alternatives that you can do. You said only if you get caught. Okay, apologize only if you get caught, Frey. Okay. So cheating, that was an interesting one. Being black. So I saw that come up a few times. So never apologize. Something you should never apologize for. Being black. If you want to talk about this time, everything that's going on in the world today, if there is not a message that hits home, it's that one. Something you should never apologize for is being black. To be able to walk down the street, to be able to go to the store, to be able to have friends, to be able to live your life, to be able to do everything that you want to do should not be something that you have to pray about. It shouldn't be something that you are scared of or have anxiety. You shouldn't have that much of a stress to be able to get up and walk out somewhere. Just being black is just, it's absolutely insane what's happening right now in the world. I can't have my cake and eat it too. Oh, all right, Tony, we off cheating, all right? But being black is beautiful. It's powerful. And it's so many of these different things. And I don't know if people are afraid of that. They're scared of that. But I can't. I'm free. And I love who I am. And who I am is black. So I'm going to get my beautiful self up every day and do whatever I want to do, go wherever I want to go without that fear. And what I can't apologize for being black. I can't apologize for being beautiful. I can't be apologized for not meeting whatever expectation it is that you have of me. But what I can do is continue to keep living, keep thriving, keep being successful. So, you know what? I'm done with you, Tony. But it's the most powerful thing to be black, to be beautiful, to be educated. And so that is my weapon. And every day I come fully loaded, baby. So I'm not going to trade it in for anything in the world. I wouldn't trade places with anybody in the world. And I damn sure I'm not going to apologize to anybody for it. So definitely a huge one on this list is being black. Absolutely never, ever, ever, ever should we apologize for being black. There's so many beautiful people living, walking the face of this earth that are dying. For whatever reason it is. But there's still nothing that you can say that's going to make me apologize for being black. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, things are happening. Things have happened to me. But I still wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. And it's absolutely nothing that I would apologize for ever. So there are people out there that truly believe that being black is a sentence. And they're not comfortable with the skin that they're in. And every day they're apologizing for it. Well, I can't be you. I don't understand what's going on in your head. All I can do is pray. Because if you don't understand how beautiful you are, if you don't understand that you are a king or a queen, if you don't understand that you're already royalty and that you've already won, then I can't explain that to you. But being black is not a sentence, and it's definitely nothing that you should apologize for ever to anyone. So that one was a big one. I didn't expect to see that one so much, but a lot of people felt that on this category, on this topic, that's something you should never apologize for. So Tony, if you're out there, he wheeled off a bunch of different ones. So I'm just going to read what he said. He said, being true to yourself, wanting to be better, chasing your dream, cheating and enforcing healthy boundaries, outgrowing a person or a situation. Let me tell you about that one. So Tony, you hit it right there when you said that. Outgrowing a person or a situation. Something you definitely don't want to apologize for or shouldn't apologize for. I talked a little bit about that a little bit earlier in the show, is outgrowing someone, whether it be a person or a relationship. If it's not working, if the situation's not working that you're in, so be it. Be adults. You're all adults. We're adults out here. We're grown. You make your own decision on what you want to do and who you should and shouldn't have in your life. That's strictly up to you. So you know when a situation's not working. You know when a person's not working. And for those of us, and I talked on a previous episode about this, sometimes we're holding on to a person or a situation that we know is not working for us, just because we want to believe so much that it's going to get better, or that situation's going to get better, or that person, things are going to be the way that they're supposed to be. Sometimes it doesn't, and you have to be okay with that. But the one thing you can't do is apologize when you've outgrown a situation or a person. You can't apologize for that. That person is going their own way, you're going another way. There's nothing you should feel ashamed or feel upset about that. If that person's not going where you're going, so be it. You have things that you're trying to do. Hey, you have things that you're trying to do. You have places you need to be at. And if you've outgrown a situation, if you've outgrown a person, that's all right. It's time for you to move on. And you can't apologize for leaving somebody behind. Everybody's not meant to be where you're going. Everybody doesn't have the same dreams and aspirations and goals as you. So you shouldn't apologize when you leave and wave bye-bye and tell them, hey, I gotta go. You gotta go. When you're called, you gotta go. You gotta answer. When you finally get a chance to live your dreams and do the things that you've been wanting to do. For me, whether that's having this podcast or doing my poetry book, for those of you that have your own businesses, for those of you that are, especially right now in this pandemic, let me tell you something. There are so many blessings that are coming out of this for people. People are starting their dreams and getting to where they've always wanted to be during a crisis. It was just the push that they needed to get to where they needed to push themselves to get to where they wanted to be. And yeah, they've had to leave some people aside. They've had to tell some people, I'm sorry, you don't have the same vision, the same dream as me. I gotta go. That's perfectly okay. Everybody's not going to be with you. James said, I'm one of those people. If you have things that you're trying to accomplish, everybody's not going to have your back. So it is perfectly okay to say, you know what? I gotta go. Let it go. Just let it go. But definitely, absolutely, don't apologize for saying, oh man, I had to let that person go. I had to leave that situation alone. What for? Apologize for what? Apologize for wanting to succeed? Apologize for having a dream? Of course not. So, once again, this is episode 19. The title is Apologize for What? What are you apologizing for? All of these things I named, all of these things that people have chimed in this one particular post means so much. Katrina, being your true, authentic self. Who else you gonna be? You have to be yourself. And there's no reason to apologize for it. Absolutely not. Who else you gonna be? A lot of relationships, a lot of friendships end because that fake person that you're trying to be. That representative you're sending. Well, that's not you. So you don't have to apologize if you're being yourself. That's all I can be. So, being your true self, wanting more for yourself. That was a huge one. You can't apologize for the truth. It is what it is. There's a lot of fake stuff being reported out there. There's a lot of truth that's out there. It's our job to really, really seek the truth? You know, but are we strong enough in our own convictions to seek the truth? And once we get it, do we apologize for it? No, we don't. I see our friends. How many of us have done what? But there's so many things here. Whether it's loving yourself, being, authentic to yourself. The validation spirit be killing them, right? There's so many people out there that just are searching for that thank you, Fred, that search for that validation. That's not you. You want so bad for other people to want to love you, to accept you, that you're willing to say anything, to do anything. You get on social media and you keep telling these people something that's completely out of your character. It's not you. So if you're 100% authentic and true to yourself, you know who yourself, flaws and all, you've accepted that this is who you are 100%. There is nothing or no one out there that you should apologize to for anything that you are or whoever you are. Absolutely, positively not. And there are people that keep apologizing because they're giving you someone else that's not them. The only time you should apologize is if you've lied to someone because you haven't even kept it real with yourself. When nobody really gives a damn anyway. Exactly. Who cares? Sometimes you should try yourself because you never know who's going to love you or not. Sometimes people don't respond to the fake person that you're trying to be. If you're truly yourself and authentic and true to yourself, you never know. You never know. You might get so many people that love you for being yourself, for being true to yourself, for loving yourself. But with all of these things that's on this list, and there's a long laundry list here of things that people don't that you should never apologize for. Loving yourself, being true to yourself. James, I'm gonna get you. Loving yourself, being true to yourself, being honest, being truthful, having dreams, goals, ambitions. There's a lot of stuff. I encourage anybody, go back, read this list. Being black. All of these things, 100%. And there's probably still some things on this list that people didn't put on here that's missing. Believing in God, 100%. Never apologize for it. Absolutely never apologize for it. All of these things. Loving yourself. Thank you, James. Stop apologizing for putting yourself first. That one is huge. Nobody put that, James. Putting yourself first. That's huge. A lot of times I'm guilty of this. And this is the last thing I'll say because I'm 100% guilty of this every day. So many times we put other people ahead of ourselves. Friends, family, co-workers, everyone. If you're somebody out there and if you're in need, I'm there. And there are a lot of people that are watching me right now that are the same thing happens to them. You run when somebody needs you. Somebody call you, you're there. If it's a 2-hour phone conversation, you're on that phone for 2 hours. If somebody needs you to drive somewhere to go be at the hospital, you're there. But when the same thing happens to you, and you're at the breaking point, and things are not working out well for you, who's knocking at your door? Who's calling and staying on the phone with you for 2 hours to make sure that you're okay? So if there's one thing that I've learned, especially in this time right now with the pandemic, sometimes you have to be a little bit selfish. Sometimes you have to stop apologizing for putting yourself first and tell people, you know what? I can't. Not today. You're going to have to find somebody else. And you feel guilty for those people that give and give and give. And I know it's some of you out there that give of your time, that give of yourself, that give of your money, that give of everything. But there's no, you're empty. There's nothing left because you've given and given and given everything that you have. And there's nothing left. You're barren. And so at that point, there's all you can do is just shut everything down and say, you know what? I gotta look after me. So many people have sent me DMs and messages, on days where I haven't been feeling the best. And they said, you know what, Shantae, you gotta put yourself first. You gotta think about yourself. You gotta think about your health. All right, Kenosha, yay. For those that have a support system out there, God bless you. If you got, hey, I got a family, I got a sister, I got a niece. That's my support. I got friends out there. Trust me, I have love. I have a support system. But sometimes you can give more than what you're getting, and that's what I'm saying. I'm a giver, but I just stopped a month ago. I'm completely drained, and you have to, James. You have to shut it off. Because when you get to the point where there's nothing left, you've given of yourself, you've given of your time, you've given of everything, and there's absolutely nothing left in you, you have to stop. Take care of yourself, heal yourself, and love yourself, and get back to center. You have to do it. No one's going to look after you in that capacity if you can't even help yourself. It just drains everything out of you. So never apologize. Absolutely. Thank you, James. Absolutely never apologize for putting yourself first. Especially with everything that's going on right now, you can't be there for everyone. People want you to make sacrifices and do stuff that's above and beyond what you can do. But you have to be able to pump the brakes and say, no, I can't. I completely understand that sometimes you're just empty. Sometimes you just get there. I had a moment a couple of Wednesdays ago. I didn't do Speak Your Soul because I was absolutely drained. There was a post I put on Facebook, and I apologize to everyone on Speak Your Soul that says I have nothing to give. I'm tapped out. I'm drained. It happens. You can't give them what you don't have. Exactly, Phil. Exactly, Fred. You can't give them what you don't have. And I've posted that several times before. Your energy gets sucked dry. So many people, they want you to do this. I need you to meet me over here. I need you to come and do this. I need you to volunteer over here. I need you to come and do this. I need you to do that. And sometimes you just don't have it in you. So you can't apologize for getting to a breaking point to where you tell people, I'm sorry. I can't do it. I'll say no in the most, in the sweetest way I know how. But sometimes you have to be able to tell people no. That's the only way you're going to keep your sanity. That's the only way that you're going to stay in control of yourself. And that's the only way that you keep and maintain your peace. Because at the end of the day, for me, that's what it's all about. Speak Your Soul is me being able to literally do just that. Speak my soul. Get everything out. Share this with you guys. You share it with me. And at the end of the day, you can just let it go. So after all of this, I've said my piece and I've let it go. And that's what it should always be about. Stop holding stuff in, because that's just going to send you over the top. You'll be batty holding all that stuff in. African American people find it really hard to go get therapy. They don't want to talk to a stranger. They find it hard to talk to family members or friends. But this is a place where we have adult conversations about whatever. We talk, we speak our piece, we speak our soul, and then we let it out and we go. And that's really what Speak Your Soul is all about. So once again, want to thank everyone for tuning in. It's been another beautiful episode of Speak Your Soul. Thank everyone for tuning in every week, Wednesday, 5 o'clock on Facebook. I'm on IG as well. So hello to all my people that are on IG watching me live right now as well. You can find this. This will air again right after this goes off. And I have a Speak Your Soul Facebook page. So if you haven't already liked that page, go ahead and like the Speak Your Soul Facebook page. This will also be streaming on Spotify, Anchor, and Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. So where podcasts are being streamed, you can find Speak Your Soul on there as well. Also on IG, Twitter, Snapchat. I'm all over the place, child. You can find me anywhere. Or on Facebook. You can always find or refer back to this particular episode. If you just want to, hear me preach James, then you can hear me preach this over and over again. So the beautiful thing about it is I love having a platform where I can come to you guys every week at this time and literally be able to speak what's on my mind and you guys be receptive of it and appreciative of it. So once again, thank you. Apple Podcasts, yes, Phil, I'm on Apple Podcasts, so you can listen to this while you're walking, exercising. My cousin listens to me all the way in Oakland, California, when she's exercising. So shout out to Britt if you're watching. But this is going to conclude this week's episode 19, guys. Next week is episode 20. I'm so excited. March, it started out as a little bitty dream that I was hoping would come true, and now here we are. We're about to be at episode 20 of Speak Your Soul. So thank you guys for tuning in once again. And as I say every week, don't forget to speak your soul. All right. See you next week.